sabito varenyam Margo devasya dhimai Dhiyo yana prachodayat Sabito varenyam Bargo devasya dhimai Dhiyo yana prachodayat My teacher once told me, if you don't move the tears when you chant mantra, you're not doing it right. Peace and love, family. This will be the first of many Sunday services. I'm grateful to have you guys here with me today. I just wanted to set the tone, set the vibration, to invite the Creator in with us, to invite the ancestors in with us. Give everybody a moment to fall in. And today what we're going to be talking about is divine presence and play. So I'll do 3 more Gayatris and then we'll get into it. Tat Savito Varenyam Margo devasya dhimai Dhiyo yana prachodayat Tat Savito Varenyam Margo devasya dhimai Dhiyo yana prachodayat Tatsavitor Varinyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yana Prachodayat. Okay. My family, if you were on a live yesterday, then you got to see some pretty cool things. You got to see us unified and recognize that we are all one being. We are not separate beings. And that's how I want to start this off today. If you are here with us now and you have ever doubted yourself before, ever felt any self-doubt ever, I want you to just put a raise your hand symbol in the chat. If you've ever doubted yourself, raise your hand in the chat. If you've ever judged yourself, raise your hand in the chat. If you've ever experienced depression and suffering, raise your hand in the chat. If you ever minimized your voice, raise your hand in the chat. If you ever dishonored yourself so you could be accepted by others, raise your hand in the chat. If you ever felt like you weren't good enough, raise your hand in the chat. If you've ever been misjudged, raise your hand in the chat. Now, my brothers and sisters, I want you to see your brothers and sisters raising their hands. So you can see we all live in the same life. Social media has a way of making you think that all is well. Social media has a way of making you think that there's no suffering going on. But as you can see, essentially everyone raised their hands. Why? Because we are brothers and sisters in suffering. We come to this world and we try and work it out. We come to this world and we look at it and we think that it's broken. And we come here and we try and fix the world. And by trying to fix it, we create more suffering, thinking, I need to fix myself too. Isn't that why you deny yourself? Isn't that why you make your voice small at times? There's something inside of you that wants to express itself, and when you tried to express it, it wasn't received as you wanted it to be received. And as a result, it made you doubt yourself. And then you start thinking that because in this world, people haven't accepted you, that you need to become something new. And then as a result, you abandon yourself and start forming a personality that people will accept, people will understand, people can digest. And then the parts of yourself that really make you, you no longer digest. And this is how you start fragmenting yourself. And this is how you move away from what we'll be discussing today, which is the state of divine play, divinity in play. And see, I didn't know what I was going to come on here and talk about. I never do. I let spirit guide my hand. And then it was something I read this morning that spoke on playfulness and divinity that I'll be sharing with you. And you see, most of us, we so serious. We so serious. We just thinking about survival, most of us. Most of us think about money. We wake up and we think about money. Most of us don't wake up and think about what it is that we want to do from the heart. We just think about how we can survive and how we can afford survival to others. But we don't think about how we can exist in a perpetual state of love, bliss, and joy. And as a result, this whole world is just about survival, this world that we've created. But if you need to understand or want to understand the true path forward, is to start tapping back into the energy of being childlike. It's about tapping back into the energy of play. And because we've made the life so serious, we don't remember that all of this has been a play. You think that the road is something serious. You think the city is something serious. You think your job title is something serious. But let me remind you, as I always say, a person drives down the street, a deer jumps out into the road, and the person says, what in the world is the deer doing in the road? Does it want to get killed? The person never says, what is a road doing in the middle of the forest? You see, the play has become so real, you think that nature is something out there and that the city is something here. You don't realize that the road is on top of Mother Earth, and Mother Earth is just supporting your play. The money that you chase, that is again just Mother Earth supporting your play. You see gold, you get excited. You see diamonds, you get excited because you think of the riches that it can afford you. But again, that's just Mother Earth supporting your play, because that's Mother Earth's body. Gold is Mother Earth's body. You can say that it has value only because we give it that, but its value is inherent. Gold is just as valuable as a piece of soil. Many wouldn't think that, but our bodies are made of that soil. The fruits and vegetables that we eat comes from that soil. Even the gold comes out of that soil. So all of it is equally as valuable. But see, in this play that we created what's called hierarchy, thinking that certain things are better than others. And because of that hierarchy, we externalize that now and think that certain people are better than other people. We think certain people deserve love and others don't. Certain things deserve our attention and others don't. So we have this hierarchy, now we've been divided. Internally, we do the same thing. We think part of our selves deserves love and another part doesn't. We judge ourselves through the same hierarchy that we do within our financial system, that we do within our friendships, within our social networks, etc. And it's all really a play, but we've forgotten that it's a play. Now it's so serious. So serious to the point that when you see your child play, it can do one of two things. it can help remind you, because that's what the children are here to do. They're here to remind us of what we even came here to do again, and it's just to dream. It's to dream so wildly that you create a whole new world that didn't exist before. It's just to dream. Because your seriousness is trying to create certainty, a certainty that can never exist. Your seriousness is steeped in survival. Your seriousness is steeped in control. Afraid to lose control. Afraid that you won't survive, so you gotta be serious and control it. And if I get this job, then I can get this amount of money. If I can get this amount of money, then I can survive, and then I can do this and I can do that. It's all this control. But remember, hold on, something just happened on my live. It said gifting was suspended for 10 minutes because of something that I'm discussing. Oh well. Back to what I was saying. We so serious. And all our seriousness is just steeped in survival. Thinking that if we can hold on to whatever it is that we're imagining, we can hold on to this idea of survival, then it can manifest here. But think about all the societies that were here before. The Romans felt the same way. The Egyptians felt the same way. They tried to cling and hold on, but the earth does what it does. It cycles. The kingdoms fell. Something new had to be built. And essentially, that's what the energy of play is. Play is to be present enough to be fine with change. When you see a child, they'll do one thing. They'll play. They'll see this box and they turn that box into a car. They'll turn that blanket into a cape. And they won't be concerned about what happened before or what's to come. All that child is doing in that moment is channeling their purpose. See, even many of us, we believe that purpose is some ultimate thing that we need to do. We call purpose one thing. My purpose in life is to be a singer. My purpose in life is to be a basketball player. But let's take a famous basketball player as an example of this to show you that that's not the case. Michael Jordan is a famous basketball player. And some people may make the mistake of saying that Michael Jordan was meant and his purpose was to be a basketball player. But that's so short-sighted. The majority of his life at this point has not been basketball. He played basketball for some years, but has not been in the league for a long time. And by calling him just a basketball player, it negates the fact that he's a son, that he's a brother, that he's a father, that he's an owner, that he is a man with his own ideas, dreams, etc. And all of that is all the purpose. Your purpose is to exist as you are, authentically in the moment. And by doing that, you will be guided to the purpose that you intended within this life. Your fastest way to discovering your purpose is through play. Because when you're playing, you are dreaming. When you are dreaming, you are connecting with the divinity. You are allowing yourself to connect with all the possibilities of the cosmos. And then you're allowing yourself to pull down the possibility that's exciting to you in the moment. You allow yourself to create as the Creator did. The Creator is the I am that then asks, what can I become? And then that's what we fulfill by showing the Creator all the things that could be, both what you call wicked and positive, or all aspects of what can be in the creation to reflect back ultimately the Creator. That's what's occurring. So with that said, play is your ability to move literally by faith now, to not try and control, but just to express, just to share, because that's all playing is. Playing is to go into a state of ecstasy and just share. And need I remind you, that is the only purpose that we have here, is to exist in sharing. To exist in sharing, beloved. Think about that. If you had all the money in the world, if you had $1 billion, trillions of dollars. Let's put it in perspective. Trillions. You had trillions of dollars, but there was not one person to share it with. Now what's your money? Even if you're a selfish soul with that trillion, you at least want other people to see you shine. You at least want other people to know about your trillions. You at least want other people that you can be selfish against with your trillions. So regardless of what, your purpose on this planet is to share. But share what? Only you know that. By living in your authenticity. By allowing for your heart to express only the thing that you came to express. You see, all of us are masters. All of us. All of us has a unique makeup that allows for us to express something only we can express. What I express, you cannot express. Not in the way that I express it. But what you express, I cannot express. Not in the way that you express it. You have a certain cadence in your voice. I may be able to mimic your voice, but I can never sound just like you, because your voice embodies everything that you've been through in all of the lifetimes. Everything that you've been through in this life. This is what it is to be you. You are unique. And then when you allow yourself to be the unique you that you are, you then allow yourself to play your solo in the chorus, in the symphony of the creation. Everything in the creation sings. But if you don't allow yourself to sing your song, then now you are not living your purpose. Because remember, the original purpose is the logos, not just the I am, but what can I become? And you show the Creator another aspect of the being of the Creator by being your unique self, by singing your unique song. And if you've forgotten your song, it just means you have forgotten how to play. That's it. So go back to playing. Literally, play. If you have forgotten what that looks like, I want you at some point today, when you get off of this live, to go and spin around in a circle. I want you at some point today, when you get off of this live, to go and spin around in a circle. I want you literally to go spin around in a circle until you get dizzy and fall down. It sounds silly, but what it does is it will disorient you. And that disorientation is needed to take you out of your seriousness so that you will cycle and move more into that feminine state of cycling and wonder, instead of that more linear mind of just trying to focus and dream. And then your body will also loosen. Everything will loosen. And then from that fun, you now have more fun. Look at your child. Look how immersed in play they are, to where they're playing with two simple rocks or playing with two remote controls, fighting the remote controls, but it's so real to them. And they just imagine. They just imagine. And through that, it leads to the next imagining, and to the next imagining, and to the next imagining. And now they create a world that somebody could not even see, somebody couldn't comprehend. Most of us couldn't comprehend. And then they lead us and show us the way. So it's through play that happens. Now I want to read to you what I was reading earlier today that inspired me to discuss play. So, a student asked the master, what did Christ mean when he said, unless you become like little children, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven? The master replied, playfulness and divinity arise from the same source, presence. To be truly playful, the mind cannot be trapped in the past or project into the future. Play happens only here, right now. A child embodies this naturally. There's no inner calculation about status, achievement, or identity. There is simply direct contact with what is happening, because the child is not burdened by psychological time. Beauty appears everywhere, in sound, a color, a movement, a moment. Divinity is not a distant supernatural being, but the quality of pure presence itself. The student asks, but how is divinity related to presence? The master replies, when the mind is not filtering reality through memory, I love you because you did this, or expectation, I will love you if you become this. What remains is a simple openness to what is here. That openness expresses itself as love. Not conditional love rooted in history or desire, but a natural warmth towards existence as it is. That state of love is heaven itself. The more a person lives in presence, the more playful life becomes, and the more divine quality of love reveals itself. The student then says, but isn't that immaturity? Shouldn't we be serious about life? And the master says, seriousness is nothing more than the deepest disease of the ego. The serious person is always tense because he believes the drama of life is real, in the way a nightmare feels real to the dreamer. He believes he must become something, achieve something, prove something, in order for this moment to be enough. The most serious people are the most mentally ill and inwardly burdened. Serious about work, serious about the future, serious about how others see them, serious about becoming this, becoming that, serious about accumulating that. Yet society calls this maturity. But is it? First, we must ask, what is life? Is life merely the endless attempt to succeed, to gain approval, to compete, to accumulate? Is that all this mysterious existence is meant for? Where is playfulness? Where is the lightness? Where is the joy of simply being? Because when you are truly here now, something strange happens. You cannot remain serious. You play, and when you play, you have entered the kingdom of the divine. The student then says, so heaven and hell are not places we visit after we die? The master says, hell is not some fire waiting for you after death if you do not follow a set of rules. Hell is a state of mind that lives entirely in time. It is the seriousness of the ego, always remembering, always calculating, always becoming. In hell, you are trapped between a past you cannot change and a future you cannot control. And the mind carries both like a heavy burden. Everything becomes urgent. Everything becomes personal. Everything becomes seriousness. Seriousness, therefore, indicates the maturity of the ego. It means the mind has become fully convinced that the world of rules, achievements, and identities is ultimately real, that separation is real. The ego becomes disciplined, strategic, and future-oriented. But in doing so, it becomes deeply entangled in the game of becoming, trying to secure itself through success, recognition, and control. And in doing so, it creates hell. Heaven is not a garden waiting somewhere beyond the clouds. Heaven is what appears the moment you step out of psychological time. When you are simply here, the whole drama softens. Life becomes lighter, more spacious. There's room for play, for wonder, for love that does not depend on yesterday or tomorrow. In that presence, you can still act, still care, still participate in the world, but you are no longer imprisoned by it. Hell is the mind lost in time and separation. Heaven is the heart resting in the present. No identities, no flags, no gods to defend. Like a child before the world taught it who was supposed to be, who to hate, what to defend. The student says, does that mean playfulness is true spiritual maturity beyond ego, roles, and identity? The master replies, playfulness is an indication of the maturity of the soul. It appears when consciousness has seen through the game after playing it again and again. One has experienced striving, fear, success, failure, attachment, and loss. And through all of it, begins to recognize the transient nature of the roles being played. Then something relaxes. You see through the futility of a future that never arrives, the chains of a past that never truly existed except as memory. You begin to notice that life was never meant to be carried like a burden. It was meant to be lived like music. Playfulness is the natural expression of consciousness that remembers its source, no longer trapped in the narratives of ego and time, no longer trapped in hell. When the mind is no longer trapped in the past as memory or the future as ambition and expectation, presence reveals itself, and that presence is what many traditions call the divine. The mature soul lives in the world like a dancer, totally involved, yet inwardly free. In that state, existence is experienced not as a burden to manage or a goal to reach, but as something to participate in with wonder. The sacred and the playful are no longer separate. They are two expressions of the same realization, that reality is most fully encountered here and now. Let's just sit with that for a moment, family. Let's just feel that for a moment. Did that resonate, fam? That playfulness. That is what we are here to do. So serious. I see it in so many of the people. So serious. Forgotten that you are an aspect of the Creator. Where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I am, as it is said. We completely have forgotten that we are the creators. The Creator dwells within. And as a good brother just posted, we must soften the heart. So many of you believe that by keeping your heart hardened, it's protecting you. But all that hardened heart is doing is steeping you more and more into this world that is not real. It keeps you in survival because that's why you hardened it to begin with. You start to lose your innocence when you harden the heart. And then you become serious. Thinking that this imaginary world is real, and then thinking that the imagination is not real, then thinking that heaven is not real. And that's how you get trapped in hell. Believing that only your achievements in this world reflect your value. When it's really about your state of being. It's about a heart posture. Do you understand? It's always about your heart posture. Go back to the children again. It says in your Bible, if you are a Christian, that the truth will come from the mouth of babes, but you don't believe it. You think the child has nothing to teach you, and you think that you have all to teach the child, but the child is an ancestor returned. The child is an ancestor returned. You, when you were a child, were an ancestor returned. But when you let yourself abandon yourself, and you don't share the message that you came to bring, when you seek acceptance over the acceptance of yourself, the generational curses that your family has passed on to you by how they raised you, you're not able to heal. And then you end up passing it on to the next child. But when you honor yourself, you heal the generational curses. When you allow for your heart to be open and soft, you look fear in the face and remind fear that it too is soft. You remind fear that it became fear because it forgot of its own innocence. As Martin Luther King said, darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. In America, we have a backwards saying that says, fight fire with fire. But beloved, if you fight fire with fire, the house burns twice as fast. That is the mind state of hell. You must understand in Christianity, in all of these teachings, things are very metaphorical to help you understand concepts that many can't grasp regularly. My gift is to be able to break things down. We all have our talents. So when you pray to our Father, understand what it means. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven means that the heavenly state can be experienced here on earth, and it comes forth through the will of the heart. The heavenly state of mind is what we refer to as Christ consciousness. And if you look at a picture of Christ, does he look hard? Does he look oh so serious? Does he look like, I must save the world? I need to make sure that everybody is loving and Christian. No. It's a very soft gaze. It's a loving gaze. He tells you to be more childlike, because that is actually the spirit. It's softness. It is what I said yesterday. It is the open hand. It is allowance. The closed hand, the fist, is one of defensiveness. It is of survival. That is not the divine. The divine need not survive because the divine is infinite. So what must it protect itself against? Everything is soft. You have to understand how to marry the masculine and the feminine. Masculinity is represented in the laws of the universe. What does that mean? It means like the law of cause and effect. It doesn't matter whether you or I believe in it. The law of cause and effect is not emotional. It just is. It is a structure. And that's all the masculinity is in the universe. What tried to get translated as the 10 Commandments. But it's deeper than that. They're just laws that, regardless of what you think about them, are immutable. Means that they cannot change because they're part of the structure of the universe. It's what allows for us to play. So that shows up as the masculine being the foundation, the space that play can happen in. The masculinity is the four walls. The things happening within it is the feminine, the cycling, the imagining, the playing. So when you want to reflect the Christ-like nature, it's to be in the being, but then allow yourself to express freely. Be honest, be authentic. Joke. Express, cry. Share freely. Stop thinking so much about how you'll be perceived, because the reason that you're thinking so deeply about it is because you are judging yourself. You're calculating. From what I just read, that's what it said. The child is not it's not calculating how things are going to be. It's just being. That's what's occurring. I'm going to read one more aspect about play and the divinity, about how they arise from the same space, but there is a difference, so that you can understand how play is a gateway to the divine state of being. bear with me. Are you guys enjoying this today? God, looks like it's trying to load. Okay. Let's get back. The state of playfulness and the state of divine presence share profound similarities. In many ways, can be seen as deeply interconnected, but they are not exactly the same. Playfulness is often a pathway to experiencing divine presence because it embodies qualities that align with higher spiritual states, such as joy, openness, creativity, and being fully present in the moment. The state of divine presence is a state of complete awareness, connection, and unity with the divine, the infinite source of life, love, and creation. It's often described as being fully present in the now, free from the constraints of past and future. Unconditional love, a state of pure, selfless love and acceptance. Feeling unified, interconnected with all of existence, dissolving the illusion of separation, and being in flow, being in harmony with the natural rhythm of the universe. In this state, there is a profound sense of peace, joy, and fulfillment. Divine presence is often accessed through states of meditation, prayer, surrender, or moments of deep awareness. But the nature of playfulness is similar, but is differentiated as a state of lightheartedness, spontaneity, and creative exploration. It's characterized by being fully present, because in play we are immersed in the moment, free from overthinking or rigid control. Playfulness arises from a sense of wonder, curiosity, and delight in life. It is free from judgment, attachment, or the need for outcomes. It involves experimentation and flow. It taps into the creative energy of the universe, allowing us to explore infinite possibilities. Playfulness and divine presence are interconnected because they share similar energetic qualities and can lead to one another. Playfulness naturally pulls us into the present moment, where time seems to dissolve when we experience life as it unfolds. Similarly, divine presence is the ultimate state of presence, being fully aware of and connected to the now. When we are playful, we release worries about the past and future, which aligns us with the divine flow. But both playfulness and divine presence are rooted in joy. The divine is often experienced as a state of deep bliss and lightness, which mirrors that carefree and joyful energy of playfulness. In play, we touch the essence of creation, which resonates with the creative and joyful nature of the divine. Playfulness requires letting go of control, judgment, and attachment to outcomes. This is also a key aspect of divine presence, which arises when we surrender the ego and align with the flow of the universe. In both states, there is a sense of freedom. Freedom from limitations, freedom from fear, and the need for external validation. Playfulness taps into the creative energy of the universe, allowing us to explore and create without fear of failure. This mirrors the boundless creative force of divine, which is continually expressing itself through life. Now, the differences. While playfulness and divine presence share many qualities, divine presence often carries a profound sense of stillness and peace, while playfulness is more dynamic, expressive, and outwardly engaging. Playfulness can be seen as a doorway to the divine, but the divine presence encompasses both playfulness and stillness. Playfulness is generally limited to light, joyful emotions, while divine presence encompasses the full spectrum of human experience. It allows us to hold space for all emotions, including sadness, grief, and anger, and unconditional love and acceptance. Playfulness is spontaneous and often without specific intention, while divine presence is a state of intentional connection with the divine. However, playfulness can lead us into divine presence when approached with mindful awareness. Many spiritual teachings emphasize the importance of returning to a state of childlike wonder and innocence to access the divine. As Christ said, "Unless you become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven." When we are playful, we release the ego's need for control and seriousness and validation. This surrender allows us to align with the divine flow of life. And in closing, playfulness teaches us to embrace the present moment with curiosity and joy, which is the essence of divine presence. My family, I just bring you this message on this good Sunday as the sun shines on me and my skin, as we are all here together as brothers and sisters in unity and love. Allow yourself to soften your heart again. Allow yourself to be present again. Understand the words of Christ when he said, "You cannot enter the kingdom of heaven without becoming childlike." He is not being a guard for the divine state. It is another law of the universe. You cannot have what you do not offer. That again is the masculine principle, the laws of harmony. Like goes with like. There is a law of resonance. If you are not in the heavenly state here, then you cannot exist in the heavenly state. So if you want to exist as divine and exist in the divine state, then you must enter it here. The divinity can be had at any moment. Love is always available in every moment. Even in the times where you think a heinous act is being committed, love exists there as well if it's chosen. When Christ carried the cross and they were spitting at him and throwing stones at him, what did he say? He realized that these people were in hell in their own minds. And when they saw him, they saw hell. They saw somebody who was challenging their way of being. Those beings wanted to be accepted by the people around them, so they acted in that way. But Christ understood something that many don't understand. That ignorance doesn't know. So he said, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." And chose love in a moment where most of us would not choose it. Most of us would match energy. And that's not what the divine state is. Or what did it just say? The divine state makes space for all emotions. Playfulness is a gateway to the divine state. By opening the heart, freeing the heart, now you can start to create space. You'll see this in children as well. A child will be playing and see another child who's been left out. And then the child's heart is soft enough to go and say, "Hey, do you want to play with me?" My, how we have forgotten. We'll walk onto an elevator and not even speak. We won't even ask them if they just want to play in conversation real quick. Like, "How are you today?" But really ask them, "No, how are you?" Or "Have an amazing day." Or "I don't know you, but I love you." Because I know you without knowing you. I know that you suffer. I know that you've doubted yourself. I know that you've had a hard time at times in life. I know people have gotten it wrong about you. I know that you felt unseen and unheard and misunderstood. And you see, we all have the capacity to do this. And before I get out of here, I want to share one more thing to remind you that you can enter the state of love instantaneously whenever you choose. If you've been here with me before, you've probably heard me reference this. And if you haven't, pay attention. If you're driving down the street and you see a small child outside holding up a sign on the corner, the child is 5 years old, and it says, "I haven't eaten and I don't remember how long. Please feed me." In that moment, what would you do? I just want you guys to comment quickly. In that moment, you see it, you're driving down the street and you see a 5-year-old child on the corner by themselves holding a sign that says, "I haven't eaten in weeks. Would you please feed me?" What would you do? As I said it, did you feel something inside of yourself? You say, "Stop and feed the child. Bring them food. I would definitely feed them. Feed the child. Feed them. Get them food. Offer help." You don't know their name. You don't know anything about them. In that moment, you became the Christ. In that moment, that is what your heart is supposed to do. Your heart breaks so that it can open more. That is what grief is supposed to do for you. Give you more capacity to love. That's what it's supposed to do. Now what I want you to remember is this. That child on the corner is also your neighbor. That child on the corner is also your mother, is also your father, is also your brother. That child on the corner is our child. We are our brother's keeper. Never forget it. One of my favorite passages from the Bible. It states, "He who says he loves God is a liar. For how can you love God who you have not seen, when you do not love your brother or sister who you have seen?" If you want heaven on earth, beloved, become heaven on earth. Heaven on earth happens through us. It doesn't just manifest. Heaven on earth is picking up this phone, going live, and speaking about the heavenly state. It's about showing people and reminding them that we are loved. It's about reflecting this energy. Because you know, like I know, anything that I'm saying right now, you already feel it. I'm just choosing, because love exists in every moment. I'm choosing love in this moment. I've chosen it. It doesn't matter what anybody else chooses. I've chosen it. And for those who want to choose it as well, I'm just a reminder of what it looks like to choose it. I love you all. Thank you guys for joining me today. I'm going to try and do this every Sunday. And I ask you guys if you can assist me to keep doing this by sharing, by following, and donating if you can, whatever you can. I don't care if it's $1, $1 million, whenever you're able to donate. I'm posting it in the chat now. If you're able to donate anything via Cash App or PayPal, it's appreciated. Whether you can or you cannot. I just posted it. Whether you can or you cannot, I'll be doing this every Sunday. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this message. You're much appreciated. I also give you guys an opportunity, if you want to follow each other, if you want to just share your love for each other. If you want to share your love for each other, please do it now. If there's a message that you want to share with each other, please do it now. In church, they say turn to your neighbor. In this moment, leave a comment to your neighbor. Tell them a message that you want them to hear. Become the heavenly state, y'all. This is how we change the planet. It doesn't have to be some grand gesture. It just has to be honest. That's all it has to be, is honest, y'all. Indeed, play with kids as you are one of them, for sure. Blissful love for everyone, for sure. Thank you, Purple, for your gifts. Thank you, everybody who's gifted. Thank you, anybody that's donated. Infinity, thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. This crystal necklace is created customly. I get them created customly by somebody locally. It's a design that I had, and they make them for me. Much gratitude. Treat others the way you expect to be treated, Ashe. May love and light fill your souls, Ashe. Indeed, let's really carry this message with us today, family. Let's truly carry this message with us today. Infinite gratitude. Fire, you are loved indeed. One day at a time. If you would like to rewatch this, it'll be posted on my YouTube channel. And that's by the same name, The Mind of Bazel. It's very simple. The Mind of Bazel on YouTube. You can watch it there. And also, if you like some of the stuff I was reading, I read messages from angels on my channel. The quote channelings and the Law of One materials on my YouTube channel. I also do different readings as well. So as always, if you are interested in any coaching, you can go to my website, themindofbazel.com, or send me a DM. If you're interested in courses, themindofbazel.com, or send me a DM. And any readings, the same. Thank you so much for joining us this Sunday service, the first and one of many. I'll see you guys next Sunday. I really do appreciate it. Thank you all. It's been great. Peace.